Well, howdy folks, this is Hellcrex here, and welcome to Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode 89. And today, as you can see, we're going to be delving into another Star League mech, the King Crab. 100 tons of just lovable snippety snip stuff. Yeah, I like the King Crab. It's a kind of an interesting little mech, as we will delve into it. Unless you're angry and crabby about it. Ha, bad. Alright, sorry. Alright, King Crab, 100 tons. It's a 350. No jump jets. 15 heat sinks. 272 points of armor, which is 17 tons. Which is pretty good. Then, carries around 2 AC-20s. One in the left arm, one in the right arm. And a ton of ammo for each, one in the left torso and right torso. Carries around an LRM15 in the left torso and a large laser in the right torso. Personally, I don't know why it doesn't go into the center torso. Don't know. Now, the King Crab. It's slow and has a few weapons to take care of itself while it's closing. To deliver, well, it's 5 shots with AC-20. Yep, 5 shots. So if you miss 5 times, you just spend a whole bunch of tonnage, 14, 15 tons on something that does maybe 100 points of damage. Yeah, that's kind of the drawback of this thing. But it's one of those things where if you get in close with it, and you're able to hammer away and hit with those AC-20s, you are ripping armor off somebody right and left. Because you hit somebody with 2 AC-20s and say you roll 2 7s, 40 points of damage to a 100-ton. Let's say you hit another crab and you hit him with 40 points directly in the center. You are going internal with 1 chance critical. And what are the odds of a mech not having been hit at least once, twice, 3, 4 times before that thing gets in close enough? That's where the King Crab kind of shines. Now, one of the biggest problems though with the King Crab, it's slow. It takes you forever to get to a location. And that's where that LRM comes in. Because it had a large laser. Now, many a times, many a pilot has problems with the King Crab because there's one thing that's wrong with this thing. It was designed in the Star League with only 15 heat sinks. They're not doubles, they're just singles. So you have 15 single heat sinks, and you just look at how much heat does this thing pump out. You put 8 with the large laser and 5 with the LRM15. So you're sitting at 13, 15 heat. Alright, so when it's closing, this mech can handle the heat with no problem. So it just bang, 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 fire the large laser, shoot the LRM, fire the large laser at the same time. Doesn't worry about heat. It's cool. Alright, it doesn't worry about having any heat problems at all. Now, when the problems come in is when you actually finally get in range of those two AC-20s. And who is not going to fire AC-20s at somebody? I tell you, like I've always said, an AC-20 is kind of like a gambling type of weapon system. Shoots only 9, and 1/3 of that range is going to be extreme long range, and you're going to probably be sitting at 10s, 11s, and 12s to hit a target. Most time you're probably looking at 12s, 11s, 12s. At least for my experience. So you're kind of gambling that you're going to be hitting with those 2 shots. All right, you get 2 shots at it, but my experience is most time you're going to miss with both of them. But when it does, they know it. Now, would you have been better off buying 14 medium lasers? Yeah, you probably could have. Or just have 10 medium lasers and then have a potential of doing 50 points of damage and throw all that into heat sinks. Hey, you've probably been better off. But who likes to design a mech with a whole bunch of medium lasers? Oh, yeah, it's a sway back. You might as well bring a sway back in. I like sway backs. But when you do hit, you're going to be crunching time. People are going to be having bits and parts flying off of them, because I tell you, nothing like when you hit somebody with a AC-20 and you roll boxcars for location. The look on their face and the life just slowly drains out of them. They realize that their head just got blown off on that mech. And yay, I like it. It's kind of fun. Except like I told you, one game where climbed up a hill, fired, needed a 12 to hit somebody with that was up on top of the hill, and a partial cover, rolled it. I got 12. I hit. Rolled location, 12. Right to the head. 20 points damage. End of story. The only damage that mech took the entire game was one 20-point shot to the head. Something that you remember years ago. You know, it's like it's been probably 10 years ago. I think it was it Gen Con or Origins? Might have been Origins. But things that stick in your head. Now, sorry, Mike. Had to bring the story back up. Now, when you're getting close with 15 heat sinks, you fire the two AC-20s, you're going to be pumping out 14 heat. You walked, there's 15, you run 16. So you're going up one on the heat scale. What are most people wanting to do? Oh, I got that large laser. I'm going to fire that large laser. You just went up by 8 or 9 heat by firing a large laser. Not a very smart idea, because immediately after you fired that, now it's like, okay, the first thing is like you're sitting at 9 heat. Oh, you got a +1 modifier the next turn, and you got a -1 to movement. So now you're a 2-3 moving pig. You just didn't do yourself any favors. But the number of times I've seen a King Crab jockey, they are going to fire the large laser or the LRMs. You're probably better off firing the LRMs at a target that's a little farther away, so you don't have any minute modifier, but you're going up 5 or 6 on the heat scale. And if you go up 5, obviously you're going to have a -1 movement. You're going to be a 2-3 mover the next turn. At least you're not going to have the problem with any type of modifiers when it comes to heat for shooting, but you still just kind of shot yourself in the foot. Alright, so that's pretty much it for that. So you're probably going to just fire the 2 autocannons, and then or fire the large laser and the, it's kind of like well, it's like either this or that. You fire the LRM and the large laser, or you're going to fire the 2 autocannons. Alright, I think we just beat the horse pretty dead there. Now, let's just look at some information here. The variants. They talk about the King Crab Mark 10 variant was developed alongside the initial production run. This one had 2 PPCs. Okay, you had 2 PPCs and 2 SRM6s in the arms. Then it carried around an LBX cannon. Well, here it says a LBX cannon in each arm. And then it had a PPCs, 2 PPCs, 2 LBX cannons, double heat sinks. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's see if I got that version brought up here. Nope, I don't. Bring it up. If I can bring it up in the thing real quick. Give me a second here. There it is, Mark 10. 2 LBX 10s, 2 SRM 6s, a large laser, and an LRM 10. Huh. A little bit different from what I got, what it says here. Okay. Interesting. So, I'm not sure what version of that. Maybe I should have done my homework a little bit better, but that's an interesting version. Is 2L, which kind of brings me up to what I like to do with the King Crab. Let's just go with that for the second. The King Crab, I have a tendency to do this, is if it's the 39 Tech, that's all you have access to. I like to drop those two AC-20s and make them two AC-10s, which is going to free up a little bit of space, which you can turn around and add a little bit more armor to it. Let me bring it up here if I can find it. Nope, that's the Gauss rifle version. Nope. Lots of Gauss versions. Alright, while I'm looking at, maybe it's the 5. No. Don't know where it's at. Now the one thing, let's say what I like to do is have two AC-10s and then replace the AC-20s with AC-10s. That's going to free up a few tons, throw some into armor, and then I give it I think it's 3 medium lasers, if I'm remembering correctly. With 3 medium lasers, you're looking at something that is capable of doing a heck of a job of tearing things to pieces, that's for sure. And here's the alright, here's one. 2 PPCs, this must be it. LBX-10 and then 2 SRM6s. Okay, so that's pretty much it right there. So you don't have 2 auto cannons, you get 2 PPCs. That one kind of works. Not bad, not great. Now, when you do look at, let's just do this right here. Replace these real quick. AC-20s to the AC-10s. Alright, so that frees up, yeah. So you're basically at a ton, and it's 3 medium lasers. That's it right there. That's the version I like. Is you are able to shoot downrange a little bit farther with the AC-10s, and you're doing the damage is a little more spread out, but it's not 20s, it's 10s. But the weapon systems are able to shoot a little bit longer. Instead of 5 turns, you get 10 turns out of each one. Or else you could put 2 medium lasers and then another ton of ammo, so you got 30 shots, so you get 15 shots with each auto cannon. That's pretty good for an extended game. And then you still have the LRM15 and Large Laser, 15 heat sinks, and that allows you to operate. And then you got 2 medium lasers to go with it, so you could you're kind of making up a little bit with the medium lasers. And I find that you're actually doing more damage with the AC-10s over the long run than you do with the AC-20s, because eventually you're going to run out of ammo for those AC-20s, and then comparatively, so you're spreading the damage out over a longer period of time, and you're doing it farther down range. And well, you're able to fire basically, you could fire the Large Laser and the 2 auto cannons up close if you wanted to, and maybe throw in a medium laser. That's kind of like what I like to do with it. Now there's other ones. Let's say you have access to Starlink technology. Bring one up here, and you decide to bring it up to Starlink tech, modernize it with some Starlink technology that you have, and you found some double heat sinks. Alright, you got 10 double heat sinks, taking that 5 tons of space that you had, and you can upgrade them to, what's these things called? Gauss rifles. So you leave the LRM on there, you leave the Large Laser on there, and then you replace it with the 2 AC-20s with 2 Gauss rifles. And lo and behold, you now have a system, and then you add in, have 3 tons of ammo with that thing. You're able to shoot for 12 turns with these Gauss rifles downrange for a long distance and do some cracking damage with some Starlink technology. Amazing. I've done that quite a few times when we're playing some different games and stuff, where you find a Battlemech that's been modified or something like that, and then come out of stasis, out of a brine cache, and you're able to bring it in and play with it. So it's one of those type of games, or even 3050 technology for that matter, if they ever get to that point, or later on. We're getting close to, probably in a couple months, 3 months, 4 months, we'll be down there into the 3050 book and talking about all that new toys and all those wonderful things that come along with it. The Starlink is back. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. They been a few different, where you kind of like strip off the large laser and a heat sink, and you throw on some jump jets, and so you make it a 353 mover, so it gets around a little bit better at the expense of a large laser. I've seen that one before in games, especially at conventions. It's one of those mechs that's just been modified heavily over the years to however the individual that's throwing it into a scenario, or just even like me, playing as a mercenary, you're going to change things around, play with it a little bit to make it into something that you want to heavily modify or play. But other than that, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. In a standard configuration, it takes a little bit work to not fry the cockpit with a lot of heat, or you modify it with some different weapon systems. I prefer to drop the AC-20s for the AC-10s. That's an easy enough fix, and then you're able to operate a little bit cooler and shoot farther down range. All right, that's my preferred method of modifying the King Crab. All right, hope everybody likes it, and if you got any good stories about the King Crab, put them down below, and we will talk with you later. Hellcracks out.